Greetings, Zombie Slayer Sleepy Jim here with part 5 of my solo high round strategy here on the buried map for Black Ops 2 Zombies. Sorry, it's been a few days since I've uploaded the next part in this series, guys. I know a few people have been asking for it. I have been, unfortunately, a little bit sick with the lurgy, and yeah, had a very bad throat infection. So I did a lot of recording of gameplay, but no commentary. And I'm back at it now, though. So I'll be hoping to post this episode, and then the next one shortly thereafter, tomorrow, after this one is posted for you guys. So we are here at round 22 in this gameplay here, and I did indulge myself there and pack-a-punch the ballistic knife, my third weapon that I've got here with mule kick. Completely unnecessary, however, but why not if you've got the points? Okay, so I'm just going to kill the last couple of zombies here in round 22, and then we're just going to be camping here for a little bit, just to show you that this is another spot that you can camp with the paralyzer or the petrifier, in this case with the pack-a-punch version. However, having said that, even though it's doable, basically you do have the two windows that the zombies tend to come from here. They spawn through those windows that we can see out front, and you also have the escape route behind you of the hole that you can jump down if you do start to get pressed back a little bit too much. The major drawback for this area here, just below the catwalk where we start the game when we spawn in, is this area here does not have any drops at all. It also doesn't have the green mist or the zombie stink or whatever you want to call that you get with Vulture Raid. I don't know why it doesn't, but it doesn't. So that kind of does reduce the effectiveness of this particular part of the map for camping. Not so much in these lower rounds where it's still quite doable, but if you get into the really high rounds, even if you're feathering the trigger like I'm doing here with the petrifier to reduce the amount of overheating that happens, you may still need to use the green mist on occasion in the really high rounds to allow it to cool down. So for that reason, I guess this is a spot if you want to mix it up a little bit, but it's probably not the most useful spot on the map to hang out in this camping strategy with this wonder weapon that we're using right now. Now, while I'm doing this, let's talk a little bit more about this paralyzer or pack-a-punch the petrifier, this new wonder weapon in Buried. In my opinion, it's probably one of the most overpowered guns, wonder weapons that we've ever had in zombies. I'm going to explain why I think that's the case. Now, a lot of you guys may think of perhaps the Thunder Gun as being the most overpowered wonder weapon ever. And in terms of the single shot damage that thing does, yes, 100% agree. It is devastating. But the thing with the Thunder Gun that used to happen, obviously, is the ammo used to run out. And then you had to respin the box to get it back. And that was quite tedious. And that's what devalued that as a wonder weapon. Even though it's probably one of my all-time favorite wonder weapons, I have no idea what this machine's doing there, sorting some sort of rock or gemstone or something. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, we also had the Sliquifire that a lot of people thought was the ultimate wonder weapon, the most overpowered wonder weapon. And it was pretty awesome and pretty amazing in Dire Eyes, especially if you could get the chain effect happening, killing hundreds of zombies with one shot. It was pretty incredible, that thing, especially because you could get it for free by building it. However, you couldn't pack-a-punch it, and once again, there was the issue, unless you were using like a glitch spot or something like that, which I would never recommend doing, because I like to play legit, but you would usually end up having ammo issues at some point. And on Dire Eyes, it's probably not the best map to be re-rolling the box for a weapon to try and get the Sliquifire back. So yes, very, very good, very overpowered wonder weapon, but nowhere near as good as this Paralyzer or Petrifier. Now, one thing worth mentioning, one other wonder weapon that is right up there and is probably second only to this as being the most OP wonder weapon ever, is the wonder weapon that we had in TranZit, the jet gun. I'm not going to call it by its full name because I can't even remember what that thing is, but is called with the really long name that they gave it. But the thing with that is another buildable weapon. So it's a pain in the ass to build it, time consuming, but you could get it for free if you did that. And it also had the cooldown type of function, so you didn't need ammunition for it. And any gun you don't need ammunition for is straight away going to be an OP wonder weapon, provided it can kill zombies. Now with the jet gun, we all know it basically could kill zombies at any round, but it did overheat super fast. And the thing is, if it overheat too much, it would fall to pieces and you would have to go around the map and rebuild it again. Once again, being a real pain in the ass. The other thing that's notable about that gun, the jet gun that is, ooh, insta-kill, let's grab that, is basically the jet gun. It only cools down if you get it too hot so that you can't really use it and you need to cool it down. It only cools down if you're actually holding it out as a weapon, as your primary equipped weapon. Now, let's start talking about the paralyzer now, because that's where the paralyzer is different. Not only does the paralyzer have unlimited ammunition because it has this cooldown effect. Should I grab that? Ooh, max ammo, beautiful. Don't really need it, but we'll grab it in a second here. It's good for the monkeys, I guess, which I already have full monkeys, but anyway. I just like shiny things. Anyway, the thing about the paralyzer is it cools down even if it's not your primary weapon that you have equipped. So if you want to have out the ray gun while it's cooling down, you can do that, and you can run around the map with whatever weapon, like the ballistic knife that I have, for example. I can run around with really high mobility while I'm waiting for it to cool down. But the other thing is, with this, if you feather the trigger, it will usually stay pretty cool, except in the really high rounds where the zombies do tend to be a little bit harder to kill. But this thing does seem to kill at least as high as I've gone in this map, which is pretty high. It still kills zombies pretty much the same rate from about round, let's say 40 onwards. So it kills zombies pretty much, let's say, at any round, because I haven't tested it too far past round 100, but it kills zombies at any round, has unlimited ammo, cools down even when you don't have it out as your primary weapon that's equipped. And even though it does seem pretty weak in terms of killing zombies, especially compared with stuff like the thunder gun, let's head up to this corridor and try camping here for a little bit again, just for some variety here at round 25. Or end of round 25, really. But basically it doesn't seem to do any damage if you just tap the trigger once. Like if you get an insta-kill, you can tap the trigger once and it won't actually kill the zombies. Even on an insta-kill, you'll need to tap it twice to get it to do that. But it does tend to kill zombies pretty slowly as well, but it does kill them. And that is what is amazing about this wonder weapon. The other weird thing about it is you can't go prone while you're holding it, which is quite unusual. You can't dolphin dive with it out either, for the same reason. I don't know why they chose to do that, but it's a little bit interesting. Kind of like the reason that they gave the Ray Gun Mark II the kick, the knockback effect. I haven't seen a gun with knockback for a long time put into the game, but especially for an SMG, which is what it basically is, a laser alien-style SMG. I don't know why or what reasoning they had behind it having knockback. It makes absolutely no sense because it's supposed to fire lasers, which wouldn't have any sort of kick to them, unlike, say, an RPG or something. Anyway, I guess they probably thought they had to balance it a little bit. Although why you would want to balance a gun in zombies is beyond me, but there you go. Anyway, getting back to this, definitely, in my opinion, the most OP wonder weapon ever. Now, if you combine it with the Vulture Raid, of course, where you can step into green mist and the zombies will just run away like they're after a monkey bomb, you actually have enough time while you're sitting in the mist for it to cool down almost completely. So yeah, that combined with a couple of different areas in the map where you can camp with this thing make it definitely the most OP weapon combo and perk combo in a map like this. Before you find that out though, you might find this map relatively challenging because there's not a lot of the areas that we're used to finding where you can train super easy, like running trains, like a lot of people have grown up doing in zombies since Black Ops really, or halfway through World at War Zombies. Okay, let's grab these things. Yeah, so as you can see, it's pretty beast when you get an insta-kill with this thing. But yeah, it's almost like Track with like, you know what, let's forget about nerfing guns. Let's just give people what they want and give them super overpowered weapons and super overpowered perks in this map because we're sick of people complaining. Not that, I don't know if many people complained really, did they? About the slick fire and stuff like that, because I know they nerfed a couple of spots, but that was more due to a map fault. Like that one spot in Dire Eyes where the zombies only came from one window. That's always a fault in the map when that happens. There used to be a spot in Riese that used to allow you to stand at one window and they would only come if you did certain things, you know, if you only opened certain doors, they would only come from one window. And also on iPhone, Shi No Numa, I actually found a spot as well on that, believe it or not, where you can also, depending on which doors you open, you can also have like zombies only spawning at one window. So that is a map fault, even though people say it's legit to camp a spot like that. It really is, you know, it really is like stretching the limits of being legit, because exploiting an obvious fault in the map spawn is different to exploiting the regular spawns that have been put in the map, or running trains the regular way, or whatever. And yeah, but anyway, people play the way they want to play. There's nothing you can do about that. As long as they're having fun, it's no big issue, I guess. It's just if people want to put themselves up as being, you know, one of the best zombies players ever to play legitimately, and then complain about people using glitch spots, getting on the leaderboards and stuff, and then they use a glitch like that, it's pretty stupid. It's pretty lame. So there you go. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. But getting back to this gameplay, guys, we're going to go to round 30 on this one, and then in the next video coming up, I'm going to show you guys what I've started doing actually in these, which is showing you some really high rounds, kind of as a bonus at the end from the same game in this case. But yeah, look forward to that, guys. I won't tell you what rounds I'm going to be showing you, but it is pretty high. It is pretty damn high. And I'm going to be talking about a few things that you can do to help you get higher in solo, including what you can do to reduce the chance of your game crashing. You may have seen a few people live streaming on Buried get that error exceeds the maximum anims in the map, or something to that effect. Well, I'm going to show you what you can do to try and prevent that happening. There's nothing I can do to help you guys with the problem where you get signed out of Xbox Live due to an update or whatever. The only way you can get around that is by playing local, and then it won't go on the leaderboards. But that's happened to me a couple of times with some high rounds that I've started doing recently, which is a little bit annoying. Now, a lot of people might wonder why I actually go to the length of doing all 30 rounds unedited in these high round strategy guides, because a lot of people will just put up like a 5-minute video with their strategy for a map. And fair enough, you know, that's fine if they do that. That can be helpful for sure. If you're at a certain stage in the map where you need to sort of work out what you can do. But when I was a noob at zombies, we're talking way back in World at War when I started playing zombies, I think I started playing when Verruckt came out, which is like the second map. That's how long I've been playing zombies for. And we were all speculating at that point, you know, what Shi No Numa was going to be like and what it was going to tell us about the story and that. Not that there was much of a storyline at that point. But way back when I started, I probably do what a lot of people do. And if I get stuck on a part of the map or a particular challenge, I'll have a look on YouTube and see what other people are doing with their strategies to, you know, what the best doors are to open up, because a lot of the maps had two directions you could go in from the starting area. You know, where to go, where to get the wall weapons, you know, where the perks are, all that sort of stuff. Way back when I was a noob, I used to find that helpful. But sometimes all I could find was these guides that were like a 5-minute video from some guy running around on the map at round 20, and I wouldn't know how he got there, you know, what he did in those rounds leading up to that. So I always thought that if I started doing these type of videos, I would make sure that I put up complete guides from round 1 through to round 30, so you can see exactly what you need to do each step of the way to get yourself set up and ready to get through the high rounds, which is where we are at this point in the game. So yeah, that's the reason behind me putting up these quite lengthy strategy guides all the way to round 30, just to help people out that might not be able to get by with just a 5-minute video. Now, somebody actually asked me in the last video why I put the head chopper there instead of in the corridor with me. Well, you could put it in the corridor, it would probably be just as effective, but one thing you have to remember with these choppers is, basically like most of the things they can build, like you can see it getting destroyed right there, well basically it will get destroyed faster if you shoot it, and especially if you throw grenades. It can only take one grenade to destroy them, so if you have it like inside the hallway with you, you're more likely to be accidentally shooting it and destroying it quicker. Plus, on that spot that I put it, it tends to kill all the zombies that come through the doorway, or you know, most of them, and quite a few that come through that window at the same time, so I think it's a pretty good spot. Let's move positions though, back to Jug. Ultimately, Jug is the best spot on this map to camp, guys, that I've found anyway. For a number of different reasons, but I found that basically let's just wait here on this double points, by the way, because I want to wait till some zombies spawn in to get some points off it. But I found in that corridor that we were just in the high rounds, the spawns actually glitch out. What happens is if you kill all the zombies in a wave that come into that corridor, into that hallway, sometimes they won't start spawning again until you go out of the corridor. It's a fault in the spawn system again. But if you go out in the corridor, sometimes you can get blocked off by zombies spawning in too quickly, either through that window in the hallway, or if you jump out the back way into the saloon, blocking you off around the tables area and stuff like that. Plus, in the really high rounds, even if you feather the trigger like this on the paralyzer, you will sometimes, if you don't get enough of the stinky zombies coming, you may need to actually make a like a run around the block for this weapon to cool down enough to reuse it again. That doesn't happen very often. It might only happen once every 2 rounds or something like that, or 3 rounds. But sometimes it does happen. And if you're trying to get out of that saloon in the really high rounds, it is actually pretty dangerous. So this area here, even though it's a complete dead end, you can actually get out of here pretty easily, as long as you have about no more than 80% overheating on the gun, if you know what I mean. Like that dial that you can see at 26, 27, 28, that's basically how hot this gun is, guys, if you hadn't worked that out. It goes up to 115, so 115. Once it gets to 115, it stops working until it cools down more. But what I'm saying is, if you don't let it get past 80 or thereabouts, you will be able to actually fly your way out using this weapon. You can fly over the top of the zombies, and I would usually say up onto that roof to the right is where I usually go, and then you can do a lap of the block to wait for it to cool down again. I usually go into the saloon. But we'll talk more about that really high round stuff in the next video, guys. I won't go into it in too much detail here. And I'll also tell you how you can minimize the chance of getting that exceed maximum animations crash that does sometimes happen with people on this map. Okay. Now the other thing about this area, and we get a nuke there, which is pretty awesome. Nukes are always good on the high rounds because obviously you can get through the rounds quicker. But let's go back into the saloon here for the final round. I'm going to grab another head chopper. Now actually what I'm going to do at this point, guys, is show you an alternate, completely different method that you can use, or strategy that you can use for this map. Now if you don't like the camping strategy, for whatever reason, you can still run a zombie train on this map. There's a few places you could do it. In my opinion, I'm going to show you the easiest place to do it. Solo at least. So let's get through the haunted house here. And that is basically, if we go to the maze area, we hop down here. I think we've still got some ghosts coming. Let's just take out the ghosts. Sometimes you get like, seems like about 50 or 60 ghosts coming all at once. I don't know if it's a glitch or if there's a reason behind it or something, but in some of the high rounds I've come through here and there's just been dozens of ghosts coming at me all at once from different sides. But here we've got quite a few, but not too bad. And let's just finish these guys off. Really, the ray gun is probably one of the best guns to kill these ghosts with, but they're not too much of a problem. Even the really high rounds, they don't get any more health or anything like that. Okay, lucky last. Oh yeah, another perk. Actually, I have maximum perks, so we get nothing, but oh well. Now, sometimes you can get lucky, and where that archway is, the gate will be closed there, which makes it a little bit easier even than it is right now for me. But you can actually run trains around this area where the fountain used to be, where we've destroyed the fountain. And if you really need to, you can get out of this area really fast by just jumping down the hole in the middle. But as you can see, as long as you're careful and you're watching where the zombies are coming from, because you do sometimes get them spawning from the bush back here where I'm pointing right now. But you can run trains here. And you could run trains here using the paralyzer to get kills to pretty much whatever round you want to get to. But it's not the easiest way to do it. The camping is the easiest on this map. And it's probably not even the quickest way to do it. But if you really want to run trains, you can do it in this spot here. So let's just get through the rest of round 30 here. Got a bit of an insta-kill going, so I'll just use the paralyzer. You just don't want to get stuck in a corner. That's the one thing you have to watch out for. Just like that. Managed to get out. Lucky I had that insta-kill going, that's for sure. Okay, so we're in the mist there. They run off down there. Chuck a monkey back there. Try and get him to go back through the head chopper. We'll get all that awesome ammo. Some of the points as well. That's one of the weird things on this map that's quite unique, is with those points that the zombies drop when you have scavenger, you can get anywhere between 5 and I think it's 30 points. But it's the first ever zombies map, guys, where it's possible to get 5 points. Like we didn't ever used to be able to get less than 10 points in zombies prior to this map. I mean, way back in World at War in Riese, you used to be able to get 25 cents out of the perk machines if you went pro next to them, which is a pretty cool touch. But even then, it would round it up to 30 points because you never got less than 10 point increments. But in this map, they do give you the 5 points. So now we can get a points total with 5 points. How about that? The other thing in this map is it does cap the points at a maximum of 1 million points. Kind of almost like clocking the game, is it freezes the points at 1 million once you get that high. Whereas it didn't used to do that in Black Ops Zombies. But almost like the old school games that used to get to 9,999 and then go back to 0 when you clocked the game. And a lot of people, when I posted a com ages ago about clocking, what that was, a lot of people didn't know what it was. Very few actually knew and got it right when I asked guys, what is clocking a game? Basically, it used to be the score went up to 9,999. Then when you got when you got even more score, it would tick over to 0 again. That would have been pretty funny if they did that in this map as well, because a lot of people would have been upset, I reckon. But it used to be almost a prestigious thing to clock a game and go back to 0 with the points. I remember way back in the day, it used to be what me and my friends used to try and do to clock games to get them to reset the score. Basically, that was as good as it got in gaming. But, guys, we will leave it here for today. Just a little teaser as well coming up. Very, very close to getting 20,000 subs, guys. When I get to 20,000, I've got a special video with a special, pretty epic challenge that I'm going to do on this map. So look forward to that as well, guys. Part 6, the final part, will be up with some high rounds. Probably the day after this video is up. We just killed this zombie with Flopper here. Please remember to rate and comment. It is Sleepy Jim out. Thanks for watching.